Nintendo can be a very unpredictable company, but that doesn't mean that we can make assumptions on what they're going to do in the future. Using stuff they've done in the past, we can assume what they're going to do. Here are my predictions for what Nintendo is going to look like in 5 years. This video will be separated into 3 sections: console, games, and others, so here are the timestamps. The Nintendo Switch successor will have Switch in the name, just like the Wii and Wii U situation, but it won't do too terribly, and I predict it will sell about 50 to 70 million units. It will be backwards compatible with the original Switch, and it will support Amiibo. The Nintendo Switch successor will still support the old Joy-Con and Pro Controller, but however, it will have new ones that add a couple more features, but it will be very similar. No magnetic railing stuff, because the railing system already in place is great. The Nintendo Switch successor will have a better home menu than the Switch, but it will not be better than the Wii U. It will still be highly praised upon though, because the Switch's home menu was really bad. About it being backwards compatible with the Switch though, it will have the same idea that the 3DS had with the cartridges. They will be roughly the same shape, but it will have a notch on the top right, meaning that you cannot put Switch 2 games in a regular Switch. The Nintendo Switch successor will have 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of internal storage, but microSD cards will still be supported, obviously. Starting off with the games, I'm sad to say this, but I don't think that there's gonna be a Pikmin 5. I know Pikmin 4 did fairly well for the Pikmin series, but it just doesn't feel like it's gonna happen on the Switch 2. For 3D Mario, we're gonna have a new original 3D Mario, but it's not gonna be Odyssey 2. I got Odyssey was a fantastic game, and I really enjoyed it, but I just don't see Nintendo making another Odyssey. Next up, Splatoon 4 is going to release on the Switch 2, I think in about either 2025 or 2027. Both of those dates just make a lot of sense, and the Splatoon franchise is doing very well as a whole, especially with the Grand Festival coming up. Next up, we're gonna get a brand new Zelda, and it's gonna be very similar to the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom games, but it will be different with a different art style, but it will have the relatively same concept. Next up is Kirby. We're gonna get a new 2D Kirby and a new 3D Kirby. The 3D Kirby is just gonna be like Forgotten Land, except a bit more open world. The 2D Kirby is just gonna be relatively same to Star Allies and other 2D Kirby games, but it's still gonna be great. For 2D Mario, this one is going to be very unlikely, but I'm really thinking that they're going to make Super Mario Bros. Wonder 2, because Super Mario Bros. Wonder was such a fantastic and phenomenal game, and they can't just make another new Super Mario Bros. Their creativity is too high for anything else. For new IPs, I don't think we're going to get one until the console after the Switch successor, but for ports, I think that we're going to get DS ports on NSO, or Switch Online if you call it, but we're not gonna get 3DS ports. I just feel like it's a little bit too early for that. However, I really do want to see Mario 3D Land ported to the Switch too. I predict that 2029 is gonna be the year that the last ever Nintendo Switch game comes out. It just feels like after 12 years, there's not gonna be much development, so there's gonna be the last game for it, and that's gonna be done for the Switch. There's also going to be a Switch 2 mod exploit that will be found in 2027, and My Nintendo will still be a sucky service. Alright. And those are my predictions for Nintendo in 5 years. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you really liked the video, you can like it, and if you like all of my other content, then maybe you can subscribe, but don't worry, it's not optional. We'll see you in the next one.